Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SmackDown Live Recap here on the Pro Wrestling Sheet. I'm your host, John Rocha, joined as always by the CEO of the Pro Wrestling Sheet over there, Ryan Satin. How are you?
I would be doing better if you admitted that you cheated on the last episode in our arm wrestling match.
These people are ridiculous. These nerds, these wrestling nerds who never even arm wrestled in their entire lives are going to judge how I did it. Did you notice how Ryan was cheating by leaning his body over the hands? You can't do that either.
We had a small table. I was up behind my back.
Okay, hey, look, you called me out.
Never cheat, John Rocha.
Oh, please. We're Latinos. Lie, cheat, and steal. That's what we do, son.
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah.
Good. This was a interesting episode of SmackDown, to say the least. We start out with Kofi Kingston coming out and talking about this trip to Ghana. You tweeted about this as well, how incredible it was to see this. And he was chronicling it on his Twitter. If you follow him, and WWE was as well. This is fake wrestling, but this is real. And this is what I have at times a issue with, how you talk about belts as props. Yes, but they also mean so much to some people. And we saw this when he went down to Ghana, people's reaction to him being a champion, a black champion of African heritage, authentic African heritage. Really an incredible sequence of events. Him talking about getting to hug his grandmom, seeing all those people out there for him. Did this blow you away?
Yeah, no, it did blow me away. I mean, when you're in a bubble sometimes, and I'm in the American bubble, I would say. Like, sure. I'm not keeping up with foreign affairs everywhere, the fandom. Well, I mean, the fandom in some countries, obviously, where wrestling is popular, but I'm not, when you see Kofi Kingston returning to a place like that, and just the amount of people who are there to receive him, who are just happy that someone from their area was able to make it like that. It's really cool. It's really special. I mean, obviously, it's not like I say being the champion doesn't matter. It's just sometimes you need to put that in perspective. But I also get that, when you see moments like this, you do mean something to a lot of people. Yeah. So I get the argument. You didn't throw me under the bus while we're having it. It's fucking early. I didn't even
called me a cheater, but with the first minute of the show.
I was joking, Rocha. But no, it really was cool. And honestly, I think that, they've done all this. Oh, it was a great thing for me to win at WrestleMania stuff with Kofi, but this is the only time where it was like really meant it, where you could really see it, but instead of Kofi just saying what the reign meant to him, you got to see it. And sometimes, seeing something like that does volumes more than just hearing someone say what it means to them. You know, personally, when you see it means something to like all of Ghana,
a country, and possibly a continent.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I mean, it does show how special that is. I mean, I already thought it was special, obviously, but when you see stuff like that, and also it does prop Kofi up a little bit, in my opinion. It takes him away from just being like funny guy in New Day to like hero of a nation, and so I think that was really important.
It's ironic because you look at what happened with the Maharaja. They gave him the title to try to kind of get inroads with India and the Indian people. But I think this is what they were going for. You saw the reaction here.
Definitely.
And I think this is what they were hoping for with Jinder Mahal. Didn't quite get that, obviously, because he was a heel and everything like that. But this is what they want, right? More inroads means more business, more possible revenue coming in. It just makes sense all around, because you're not going to see the Iron Sheik going to Iran or Volkov going to Russia or anything. Like, this is authentic and this is real, and I thought this was fantastic and perfect WWE to have Ziggler interrupt him, because
I was hoping they were going to do that. I was sitting there like, someone's got to ruin this special moment.
And that's perfect WWE. You have to keep the storylines going. Ziggler interrupting, which is great, and then throwing his own video package up about himself and his 14 years of being, in the business and not getting the respect that he feels like he deserves, because it's about me. But then Kofi apparently had to hold me up in the truck, who had his video package ready as a retort, and showed how Ziggler laid the belt down and walked away. So he's like, you had your chances, guy. You just didn't take advantage.
And then Ziggler cut to another video package about the beating him up, right? Wasn't there three video packages in it when he said, oh yeah, well this, and he showed the stomping on the head or whatever.
Yep.
The video packages were ridiculous in this segment.
In a good way, I thought.
No, I
you
thought
didn't
in
like
a bad way. I had just praised the awesome, video package of Kofi and Ghana.
Sure.
And then and then I liked the Dolph one. The Dolph one made sense.
Great.
I was like, okay, the Dolph one's cool. It actually is a good reminder of all that stuff. You
forget how yoked he was when he was younger.
Totally. And, it does put into perspective that he is now a veteran of the company, But then when Kofi had one prepped back, and then Dolph had another prepped back.
Oh, yeah?
Like, my question is this.
Yeah.
Because
it's a GIF war. It's essentially a GIF war.
Well, it is essentially a GIF war. But here's my question and maybe this is just the producer in me who overthinks everything. But either one of two things we're supposed to be thinking here is either one, there's a guy in the back who has everything clipped out already.
Yeah.
And he's just waiting for things to show his packages too.
Right.
That didn't sound right. But that's what I understand, because he's not supposed to know that Dolph was going to come out.
Probably not.
So then how did he have a video package prepped?
I think Dolph handed him the video package as he was walking out.
Dolph I get.
Dolph handed him.
We'll pretend Dolph was in iMovie for a week, or he made one of the WWE editors.
Sure.
You put this great package together for me. I'm going to call to it.
Yep.
But Kofi calling for one back. He's not supposed to have known Dolph Ziggler. He didn't know Dolph Ziggler was going to interrupt him.
Did he know what Dolph Ziggler was going to say?
He didn't know what Dolph Ziggler was going to say.
So how did he have multiple packages lined up for anything Ziggler might do?
Just in case?
Just in case?
But he's not supposed to know that Dolph Ziggler was going to come out.
Yeah.
And we're talking in this fictional world here.
Yeah, of course.
I know that it's not, and he does. But I'm more just saying,
to kick it around.
Logically here, he's not supposed to have known that. So how would he have been able to throw to that clip?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And vice versa back.
Yeah.
Dolph doesn't know that he's supposedly got that clip
in the chamber.
He has that clip in the chamber.
Yeah.
So why would he have the other clip in the chamber?
Yeah.
I
think they're hacking each other's phones and they know what they're going to say to each other. That's the only explanation.
See, and the reason I like the packages is because sometimes I already feel like there's way too many recaps in the show because I don't. I understand on SmackDown putting Raw things. No, I'm sorry. I understand on Raw putting SmackDown things because I think that there are people who watch Raw that don't watch SmackDown.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think that there are people who strictly watch SmackDown. I have a hard time believing that.
I think there are, but it's a small minority.
Such a small audience.
Like Christian only watched SmackDown for like a year.
Really?
And never watched Raw. He hated Raw.
Interesting.
For a year, but he watched SmackDown because he enjoyed SmackDown. So I think there are people. I just don't think it's a large percentage compared to the people who watch Raw and don't watch SmackDown.
I don't think it's large enough on either side of the coin, to be honest with you.
Okay.
To warrant that many recaps.
Yeah.
I'd rather see promos from lesser used guys that are just building their characters up and stuff like that.
Right.
So I already don't like it. And then in this, I was thinking, do they think? Who thinks that we are so stupid?
Yeah.
That we can't, one, remember what happened last week.
True.
Without showing it to us.
True.
And two, that we need a visual reminder of Dolph laying down the title. Like, we all remember it. Everyone remembers it. And if you don't, it literally, it's a promo.
Right.
Just say it. Like, you don't need, let me show you this stupid thing you did 6 months ago or whatever. Or actually, it was crazy how long ago it was when it said December or 2017 or whatever. But still, I was like, I don't know. I hate just like words can illustrate a picture.
Yeah.
And I thought that that many video packages in one promo was silly. No?
No, I mean, it made sense for what they're trying to do. I get why you might think it was silly, but I also thought, well, this just puts the narrative and reminds people what the narrative was. Because you say this, people watch Raw, people SmackDown, but I bet a lot of people forget stuff all the time and don't go back and watch it religiously and know. And I bet a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Dolph did lay the title down. Totally forgot about that.
Do you think that they needed a visual reminder of that? Like, don't you think, you don't think that if Kofi said, remember when you dropped the U.S. title, idiot, or whatever he says, obviously not better than that, but that you like, oh yeah, Dolph did drop the title. What an idiot.
Well, I think it's
why does he care?
Well,
now?
I think it's like I think visual stuff is really interesting. It makes it like it hammers the point home, right? Look, and I don't want to get too far out of the realm of what we're talking about, but look at what happened with Ray Rice and with that Kansas City Chiefs guy Tyreek Hill. People heard about this abuse, right? But it wasn't until they saw the video that people were like, "Oh shit!" Right? So you can say something, but there's something about being something about being visually cued versus audio cued that has more of an effect on people. It seems like. Look, and
but
once again,
that's a bit different.
No, but I'm saying to you, like, this is how people work. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like Mueller came out and did his thing. Not to get political, but he said exactly what the report said. And then people now, because he came out and said it, are like, we got to do this. And so it's just like, that's the thing. I think people are more visually cute. And I think WWE understands that. And I think that's why they did it. But your point is valid that there's a lot of packages in a small amount of time. But I think that's why they did it, because they know people need to be reminded.
No, that's fair. It's funny. I was there the weekend when they were prepping the Ray Rice video at TMZ.
Oh, shit.
And I, as you know.
Yeah.
Even the way you described it, didn't even realize you were talking about that story, because that's how little I care about football and stuff.
Right.
And so I remember, like, they all came in, and it was like, because I used to manage the weekend, so I was there alone usually. Well, me and another few people, me and 3 other people, but all the bosses were coming in, and it was like a whole thing. And I remember being like, what are you guys doing, you know? And like why are you all here, you know? Because nobody's gonna sit there.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys all doing here?
Who's Ray Rice?
Yeah, that literally is what happened. They said, like, we got the things. It was a thing before, like you said, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not think it was gonna be that, like, this giant thing that it became. I mean, obviously he's terrible at it. Guy's hitting his wife.
Of course.
Fucking awful. Fuck that guy.
Horrible.
But I just remember the time being like, I didn't know how famous he was or how big the story was. And I remember when they were, because you know how it was like the speeded up video, they had to like slow it down or whatever. So I remember like watching the slow down, like, oh shit, that's bad. That and who's the racist owner guy?
Shit, for the Clippers.
Yeah.
I forget his name now.
Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. Anyway, I was there for that one too, and they were putting that together and being like, what are you guys doing? Oh, that's bad. You know, that's really bad. I remember seeing the Ray Rice thing. It's always weird to see things before they become these huge things.
There's just something about seeing it versus reading it that just has a little more.
But that's honestly one of the reasons I initially loved working in news. It was like you get to learn about things before the whole public does.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this.
Okay. Oh no, I'm nervous.
What is it that you guys possess that you can get those videos the NFL cannot? Or is the NFL lying when they say they couldn't get access to that video?
Oh, I think they were lying when they said they couldn't get access to the video.
Thank you.
Nah.
That's what you think. That's your opinion. You're not saying it's true. It's your opinion.
Yeah. I don't want it. Definitely my opinion more than anything. This
might get cut out, but I just wanted to ask Ryan, because like I've always felt like the NFL lies about that. Because there's no way TMZ is able to get these videos in the NFL.
Here's
a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
The difference is this. Is that, you know, it's not, you know, it's not a secret that, you know, news organizations pay to license things.
Yes.
You know, they pay to license videos, pictures, and that's not just TMZ. That's ABC, that's Good Morning America, that's all those things. You know, like news in general, they license videos and pictures and things like that from people from that kind of thing. So, because people contact TMZ, because that's a known thing, and because people contact TMZ, I think the difference is no one's contacting the president of the NFL or the investigators, quote unquote, at the NFL, and being like, hey, I have this video. However, people are going to TMZ, literally thousands of people a day, because I used to get those tip emails, thousands of people a day are coming in saying, I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. And, you know, every once in a while, there's a serious thing like that comes through. I don't even remember if that, I honestly don't know if that was on the But people come to TMZ and the reporters that are there and the producers, and they say, hey, I have this thing, you know, like, and so that's, I think, the difference. I don't know if they're lying necessarily, or didn't have access to it, but also, like, think about it this way: if, like, quote unquote investigators, and I've used a lot of air quotes there, but if investigators, because I don't know what actually, when people say we have investigators working on it, I don't know what that actually means, and that's in every big company. But I have a hard time believing that if they had contacted the hotel and been like, we're investigators that aren't actually police.
Right.
and go, hey, we want to look at your security cam from this night, blah, 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 they'd be like, no, that's our security footage.
Right.
But police, it's different. It's, you know, and I'm not saying it came from the police either. I'm just saying, like, random investigator calls your hotel and says, I'm investigating. No.
Yeah.
Just like if I called the hotel, it was like.
I think your point is interesting because we got to move on. But like this idea of because if you sell it to the or if you give it to the NFL might bury it or might not license it. You might not make any money off of it. So it makes more logical sense to hand it to a news organization because you might get licensed and make money off it every time it's used.
It's going to be seen.
Or it's going to be seen. Right. That as well.
Because like you said, visual world, you know? And so they're like, I'm sure someone who had access to it was like, fuck that. This guy was beating his wife.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it to the NFL.
And I'm not going to give it to the NFL so they can bury it like they've already been doing to help this guy.
Right. Great point.
I want him to be seen by the world. I mean, that's a lot of time when people go to the news, you know, when they go to that because it's like bad things are happening behind the scenes of things and they're like, hey, this isn't okay.
Right.
This needs to be seen by people or heard by people.
Well, this is a fun conversation that you might cut out. So
No,
you think keep it in?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's move on to this tag team match that happens. Well, after Ziggler does this
anything bad there. Hopefully not.
Kofi and Xavier Woods take on KO, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Just fun back and forth. Great for a person match for as long as it lasted. Kofi gets the victory, and then just as Kofi is celebrating, after beating Sami Zayn again, he gets the super kick from Ziggler. Xavier tries to come in and save him and gets super kicked as well, and then Ziggler walks off up the ramp. This is just leading to a Ziggler-Kofi program that I can't wait to see happen.
The Super Showdown on Friday.
Yep.
You're not going to watch it.
Now I've been changing my mind, to be honest with you. I know.
We'll cut that out so you can keep your woke points. There's the woke counter, number 1 for that one guy who tweeted me. But no,
kiss my ass. I love how being like fair and cognizant of things is woke. Shut up. Yes.
No. Yeah, they're gonna put on a good match. Obviously, I mean, those two guys have wrestled a ton of times, and they're always good. It's funny the whole it should have been me thing, and then Kofi saying it's gonna be me. And I laughed because it totally sounded like the NSYNC song, like it's gonna be me, and I was cracking up when I was watching. I was like, oh, people are gonna totally.
Someone should do something with it.
I already saw it.
Oh, really?
I already saw it. Yeah, I've already seen some funny ones out there. People leaped onto that one quickly, but it was good. The tag match was good.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn wasn't on Raw this week, right? He was only on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think only on SmackDown.
Right?
I don't recall him calling me over.
Recall us talking about him yesterday.
And I wrote everything down.
Yeah, I know. I think that. I mean, like I had been saying, I preferred the way he was being used on SmackDown. So, I was happy with it. It wasn't anything. I mean, those 4 guys aren't going to put on a bad match.
No.
I'm sad they did the like fake Big E coming back thing though.
This is interesting
because it seems like he wasn't cleared, and they just did that for a week.
Right.
Because now he's kind of back on Twitter, but
who did Big E break into the WWE with?
Ziggler. I don't think he's turning. I know you keep wanting it, but it makes no sense. Just because
he's turning.
It would make no sense.
He's turning right now.
Why?
He's going back with Ziggs.
That would literally be awful. You would like that?
That's the whole point of
You wouldn't
twist.
say how stupid that is?
No, not at all.
Why?
I would accept it.
Why?
Because they came in together.
Well, they didn't like come in together.
Well, I mean, they were together when that's how Big E was introduced, was as his bodyguard with AJ Lee. And so to me, if somehow there's been conversations going on behind the scenes and blah, blah, blah with them, then we can find out why. And then Big E could give this whole thing.
Yeah, but my only thing against that is that like
you became the star, you took the shine.
But do you want to see that version of Big E? Big E's so entertaining as he is. Why would you want to see that all taken away from him become like I don't know, mediocre heel?
I don't think he'd be a mediocre heel. You don't think he'd be a great heel? He would eclipse Ziggs. Everybody eclipses Ziggs.
I mean, I liked Big E when he was a heel in NXT, but he wasn't really was he a heel when he was doing the 5 thing? I don't know if he was really a heel then.
He was certainly a heel with Ziggler when they came.
Weren't.
They were heels.
Were they?
Yes, they were
People were
heels
cheering
first.
them so much, though. Like, that's during the era when he had Money in the Bank, if I recall. That's like during all that.
Right.
He was massively cheered during that time period.
Right, as he came, because at first, though, they came in as heels. Then eventually it kept turning because he put on these phenomenal matches and would never win. So the fans started to turn in support of him, and then they became faces.
Honestly, it's been so long, I'd have to go back and look at it. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
But
Do you need a visual cue?
I do. That's a little bit longer ago, though.
Yesteryear.
But yeah, I just think that, Big E is one of the most charismatic people on the roster. I just think that would be like pouring cold water on something that people love. Like, it would just, I'm sure he could be a good heel, but like.
But him being off television is very weird. What you said initially to start this. Yeah, but he can do promos in the back. He can do interactions with Xavier and with Kofi.
But usually when people are injured, they don't do that because they got to travel.
Yeah.
It's not just because they're. It's because traveling with an injury, they'd rather them stay home and rehab the injury than.
I guess that makes sense.
And I don't know where SmackDown was that night, but it's possible they were
Texas,
close.
I imagine, yeah.
No, not last night. When Big E had that appearance.
Right.
It's possible they were close to where he lives,
Yeah,
and that's why they had him there.
Yeah.
Because that would make the most sense. I didn't think at the time it seemed like they were bringing him back, but I mean that would make the most sense.
Okay, all right.
I would hate a Big E heel turn. Ugh.
Speaking of recaps, Shane comes on, talks about Roman Reigns. He is offended that Reigns doesn't think he stands a chance against him, talks about him being a big dog, and then we see the recap of him spearing Reigns, and then we go to break, come back, moment of bliss. Alexa Bliss coming in, interviews Bayley.
Let's wait before.
Okay.
Moment of bliss.
Do you really want to talk about the Shane stuff?
I just wanted to say this. Pre-tapes. They need to do these pre-tapes with Shane. This was leaps and bounds better.
Oh, I see.
Than some of the other things they've had him do in the ring where he's searching for the right word and stuff. Pre-tapes. Please, more pre-tapes with Shane.
Okay.
Instead of these promos where it's like they're trusting him to follow through, because it's very obvious that he's trying to remember his lines. And I feel like I love Shane. I think he seems like an awesome dude, but like last night's pre-tape was so much more impactful and entertaining, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Some of the things he was saying, I laughed at. I forget, like when he was telling everyone to quiet down.
Yeah,
I think the music was still playing, and he was telling the music. I couldn't tell if he was talking to the crowd or he was telling them to turn the music down in the back, which I think was what they were going for. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, and like I said,
I've talked a lot of shit on Shane, so I feel like I had to say that.
Bounce it out. Yeah, moment of bliss starts. Alexa is interviewing Bayley, but then we get this dumb stuff with the coffee. I guess they're really leaning into this coffee thing. Her getting the right cup, and then Alexa brags.
Now I understand the shirt.
Yeah,
because they're so heavily leaning into this thing.
The blue brand or whatever it is. Alexa,
like Twisted Bliss coffee or something like that. I think
yeah, Alexa brags about her accomplishments as champion, said she defended it in Hell in a Cell, blah, blah, blah. But then Bayley really pushes back at her, says, I know you're trying to goad me. I'm not going to fall in that shit. And then Alexa, okay, fine, we ask the questions on your time, blah, blah, blah. The guy brings the coffee back.
Danny Limelight?
Danny Limelight, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
indie wrestler out here.
Is he really?
Yes,
okay.
he is.
Nice. Traveling with the company.
He's a good guy. I'm a big fan of Danny Limelight.
That's sweet. Then Bayley knocks the coffee out of Alexa's hand.
Which was empty.
Oh, yeah, clearly, because it didn't go all over the place.
She slapped the coffee that he brings. She says, go get me a new coffee. And then she's like, my coffee's ready. He comes out and he hands it to her. She's holding it.
Right.
And she slapped the coffee and there was no coffee in it.
Did the thing come out? Did the top come off?
Even if the top didn't come off.
I don't know. It might be a really good brand.
There would be some leakage.
I think they didn't like the fact that the coffee spilled outside the ring. Nobody likes that coffee smell afterwards after an hour. So maybe they were like, no, we're not going to do that on the ring.
we're not going to like coffee all the time.
Let people walk through coffee flavor or coffee smells as they go. But then Bayley, I like how Bayley pushed back. I like how she's knocked that thing out. And just when they're about to go at each other and maybe challenge each other, Carmella comes out, shockingly, and starts talking about being a former champ and who should be fighting and should be her. Then Alexa and her get into it. Then Charlotte, because God forbid, gotta have Charlotte. She comes out, says she talked to her friend Shane McMahon and says it's going to be a triple threat match later on between Alexa, who I thought wasn't medically cleared.
She is now.
She's now cleared. Obviously.
Yeah.
Alexa,
obviously,
Carmella, and Charlotte down the line, and Bayley, they'll challenge Bayley at Stomping Grounds. So we get all that stuff. Did you like this whole thing?
It's funny. I liked Alexa way more than I liked Bayley here in this segment. I thought,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Bayley was fine.
Yeah, I liked
Bayley
what
was
Bayley
bad
did.
or anything like that, but I felt like these moment of bliss segments, it kind of felt Alexa has felt very uninspired when she's there to get other people over.
Yeah.
But she knows how to get herself over.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she is good on the mic, and when she finally was able to turn it back on to, like, me,
Yeah.
you know, and be hyping herself up, and there was purpose to this moment of bliss. It actually felt like the best one they've had, in my opinion, just because there was reason to it, you know, like, because you're like, why is she hyping herself up? She's not cleared,
right?
You know, and then you're like, oh, cool, she is cleared, great, you know, and so, I thought the segment was actually really good. I thought her confidence was exuding more than I've seen it in a while. I thought that like she looked like I don't know, she just looked like she was ready to go.
Yeah.
She looked like she wanted to wrestle, like she had been bummed and she was ready to get back there.
Yeah, I really like that as well. I thought it was a fantastic way for her to go through with this thing. And then we got set up. So I like it. Carmella being part of this is also good.
Yep.
It's kind of another step forward towards her coming back into doing a little singles wrestling. So we'll see what happens later on. R-Truth is back there talking to Carmella, and then Shane informs him over the phone that he does have to defend the 24/7 title immediately, and he comes out to face Elias in essence a lumberjack match because they're all circling the ring.
It was a lumberjack match.
Yeah, and it becomes a lumberjack match in that way, and then R-Truth wins that belt, or defends the belt rather, under the ring, which I think you can see.
He lost it to Elias,
and then won it back under the ring.
And then Elias went to crawl under the ring to hide from all the people fighting him. And then R-Truth crawled under the ring with a referee and pinned him and came back out. And yes, if you didn't see it, it's funny to watch. If you go look on social media, if you look on Twitter, I retweeted the video, but it's the under the ring cam where they show R-Truth go under there and pin Elias. Very funny video. However, I was thinking to myself, they've had a camera under there this whole time. Can't we see this portal to hell that Kane has under there?
What the hell?
We can put a camera under the ring?
Yeah.
You know, if Hornswoggle's hiding under there, if they showed us the under the ring cam, I want to see a video of Kane pulling someone to hell from the under the ring cam.
I want to see a video where you go down, and it's like there's mini apartments underneath the ring, and everyone's in there and just waiting to get caught. Like their number comes up, and they have to climb back out through the ladder up into the situation.
My alternate theory was that Undertaker was the one who filmed it, since he was already down there waiting for his cue later in the night. He was just chilling anyways, like, yeah, I got my phone on me here.
All right, I'll film it.
Here you go, WWE.com. And he's like, he's already used to having to take pictures of Michelle McCool all the time. Like, he's a good Instagram husband, you know?
Yeah.
No, like, you know how it is when like, your girlfriend wants to post a picture on Instagram. You got to be that good Instagram boyfriend or significant other or husband or whatever. So he's probably already got it down. He's probably filming her all the time for social media.
Yeah. Do you like Leku? Did you like Leku?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Leku.
Yeah.
I miss her, man. I thought she was great.
I was sad. I was listening to this interview with her this week. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't listen to it.
Her and Maurice were two big losses, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Loved them both.
Maurice, totally. Yeah. I was a huge fan of Maurice.
Great Maurice.
It was a bummer. Apparently she was on Lillian Garcia's podcast this week, and she said one of the reasons she left WWE is because of the kind of like the heat, I guess. A terrible word, but like I don't know, what's the right word? Like not jealousy, like the shit she would get for dating Undertaker. Like that.
Really?
Yeah, that she didn't like some of the shit she was getting from
What do you
people.
expect?
And just some of the because it wasn't like actual words being said. It was more so just like the vibe.
Yeah.
You
Little
know?
comments maybe.
Yeah, I think that, you know, and so, because you know how WWE can be, it's like it's like high school, you know, and so, I heard that. I haven't heard it yet. I read the quote and I was like, that sucks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, how close is that water to your computer? Because it is driving me crazy this whole time. Yeah.
What are you, crazy?
No, the water underneath it.
Oh, I don't worry about it. What's wrong with you? It's just a little.
I'm not even OCD, and it's been freaking me out the whole time. No, not the water itself. Yeah, that. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. Continue.
Visual cues, man. All right, let's move on. Aleister Black does his promo talking about someone needing to challenge him.
I love this.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
The only thing
asking someone to fight you is weird.
The only thing
don't pick something.
The only thing I don't like about it is, are we to assume that there's just like a door in the backstage area that says Aleister Black on it? Like, how do they know where his weird, creepy room is?
Yeah,
he made
that's
it seem like it's just common knowledge.
It's probably under the ring.
Is.
It's one of those apartments under the ring.
But yeah, that was my only thing, is that it was like, why isn't anyone coming to fight me? Well, maybe no one knows where the hell you are, Aleister Black.
That's a good point.
You're in a nondescript room that nobody knows about. And before it was black.
Yeah.
Now it's at least got a white paint in the background. But like, you're in this nondescript area. It's weird to see Aleister Black smiling.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of like it now. Like,
okay.
it's starting to it's got this like weird, unsettling vibe to it where you're like, please stop smiling.
Yeah.
But not like in a way where you're like, this is terrible. Where it's more like in a way like, oh, this is unsettling. Like,
I just want him to wrestle.
fair.
Can we just wrestle?
See, yes, but I also am a strong believer in character building. And to me, this is very strong character building stuff.
Okay.
We saw him wrestle for weeks, and there was zero character building whatsoever. And look what it's done for Ricochet having zero character building. Yes, he was in the main event this week, but nobody knows who Ricochet is yet. Like, nobody really, like, he's had 1 or 2 promos now or whatever, but like, I think in the long run, as much as I love Ricochet, this helps Aleister Black in the long run because these are the things you're going to remember.
I think you're right, but also because Aleister's just better on the mic than Ricochet ever has been. So I think they realize, look, we're not going to get Ricochet over with the mic skills, so let's put him in the ring. With Aleister, we can take our time and put him and do these promos, which I guess makes sense. And I also think it's because they don't have anyone for him to fight yet. And
I also think you're right in that regard.
Let's just wait a little bit, let him build up, and then once something clears itself and we can see a connection here, then we'll bring him out and have someone challenge him or whatever.
Absolutely. And to me, it just feels a little different. Like, we've seen I'm going to attack when I'm ready so many times. So many times. It's not really often when we see someone be like, I'm waiting for someone to challenge me. Because that could be a cool moment if they continue this for long enough and someone cool enough comes to the challenge.
True. Well, Shane comes out now with the Revival. I guess that's fully part of his faction now. I know you're saying he isn't really creating one, but it feels like it is now. The Revival comes out, says they gave him emotional support, says he's going to neuter Reigns, the big dog, and then Reigns comes out. The Revival come and attack. He absolutely dispatches the Revival. Then McIntyre shocks him coming out from behind the little stanchion there, gives him the Claymore. They kick the crap out of him. Shane gives him the spear, and then they stand at the top of the ramp celebrating the situation. So even more so, it seems like Reigns is going to win on Friday. Right?
Of course. Oh, my God. If they have him lose to Shane, that'd be so funny. I'd be like, oh, my God. I didn't love this segment, and it was kind of like what I was saying earlier, why I wanted to put a focus just for a second on the other Shane one.
Yeah.
Because the pre-tape with Shane was so much better. This promo, he was stumbling on words that he was trying to remember. It just didn't feel right. It didn't make any sense as to why the Revival would just go chase Roman Reigns down when he had the upper advantage. Like, I get they're supposed to be like goofy heels or whatever, but I just in general didn't love this segment. I don't think any of this segment or any of this feud is connecting with anybody except for maybe Vince.
It doesn't feel like it. No.
And honestly, Drew McIntyre was one of the hottest things in the company a few months ago, and the more he's been associated with Shane and these like makeshift heel groups, the lower his status has become. He's kind of becoming just the other heels that are on top as opposed to like this massive force. And it's like, to me, I don't understand why he's still in this feud.
He's dangerous. It's dangerous for him because it looks like he, at any moment, if these programs don't start working out for him, he could slide back into 3MB status. Don't forget, Jinder was a champion. Now Jinder's trying to win a 24/7 title on a golf course. So, like, anything could happen to McIntyre where he tumbles back down. As much promise as he's had coming in, if they don't handle his booking better, I think you're right. I think eventually he's going to come down.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's in a feud with Shane McMahon and involving Shane McMahon and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but that could be fool's gold because once this feud is done, if they don't give him someone else to battle that's of the same quality or same height, then I don't know where you go. Because you don't think there's going to be a McIntyre Reigns program for months. Like, that doesn't sound exciting.
They've already been involved in one for months.
Yeah, but with Shane and other people involved. I mean, like, it's not a
because
one-on-one.
Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre wrestled at WrestleMania.
Yeah, how would that work out? It wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't one of the best matches.
And then they continued it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like,
they're trying to make it work.
It's weird. I don't understand why. And adding Shane wasn't the magic juice it needed to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that Drew McIntyre separates from all of this after Super Showdown.
Yeah, just goes on his own.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because he should be like challenging for title or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we get to the triple threat match here that we previewed here with the ladies. Fantastic match with Alexa, Carmella, and Charlotte all getting their spots. Alexa used sparingly. She wasn't fully in the ring for a lot of this, comparative into minutes.
Yeah.
And I think that was smart to save her.
And I was also going to say, I feel like she is slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it looks like she knows that she's gotten a few injuries and she's taking it a little more easy. Yeah.
You can see that she's not willing to throw her head on the mat or on the outside mat as strongly as she was before. The hands are coming out quicker ahead of the head. So you see that happening. Fire and Desire came down. I wasn't sure why they were there, and then we see them interfere, stop Carmella, and Charlotte gets the victory. Alexa gets the victory. Yeah. Shockingly, I didn't think she. I think she was a fodder, and I thought it was going to be Charlotte again, for God's sakes. But then it's Alexa. So this is interesting, right? Because now it seems like she's fully cleared. She's going to fight. She's going to fight a thing with Bayley. Are you concerned about this at all?
Not that I'm concerned. To me, it's more so I hate rushing into things. And like, she just got cleared.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I know it's been a while since she's been champion, but like, you could have built to that a little more.
Right.
It feels very rushed, in my opinion. I would have liked to have instead seen her go on a little bit of a winning streak, like to get that again, as opposed to just like her first match back after being cleared right in title contention and then wins it.
They love Alexa, man.
They do. Of course they do.
They always give her titles.
They're excited to have her back and they're ready to throw her into something. But
she's great.
I would have just preferred a little bit more build up, and that's me personally.
Right.
But no, it was a good match. I also that Twisted Bliss while the figure four was in, or not the figure four, but whatever Carmella was doing was dope. I also liked. I think it's funny that even though it's not the double arm DDT, I love that Alexa jumped on the DDT as a finisher as soon as Moxley left, Dean Ambrose. Like, he had the double arm, but still, like, usually there's not multiple DDT finishers or whatever. And so she's like, oh, DDT's free? Cool. Mine now. I'm taking it. I don't, because she wasn't always finishing people with the DDT, right?
No. It was a moment of bliss, or it was the
Twisted Bliss.
Twisted Bliss. It was like Ember Moon used, to,
Yes.
when she wrestled.
I liked it. I just felt like it was a little rushed. Although I do think that I'm sure they're going to prolong this feud between her and Bayley. So it's going to be the next few months.
It's going to be a fun match. I think. I think if nothing else, it'll be a fun match, and we'll see how that goes. And it only raises Bayley's stock to fight Alexa.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing that as long as they don't give it right back to Alexa, and as long as this is done to kind of make Bayley a more credible champion because she's beating someone who's held the women's title multiple times now. So that's my only thing. I hope this isn't just to give it right back to Alexa. Yeah. As much as I like Alexa, I just think that they're building Bayley here, and it would be crucial. It would be detrimental to her build if they take it right away, similar to how they do with Sasha, like after a month of her holding the title.
Fire and Desire coming out and helping Alexa, though. Remember we were saying yesterday that it seemed like she was going face with Nikki and everything. Now this feels more like heel Alexa being helped by these heels.
It didn't seem like they were doing it for her.
Were they doing it against
Carmella? Yeah, because they've been in that feud with Carmella.
Right.
Because they've had that whole Money in the Bank situation when she hurt Carmella. Carmella came back. So they've been kind of playing off of that.
Yeah.
But I still think that Alexa's full heel now at this point. After the whole moment of bliss thing where she was like hyping herself up, and now she's clearly going to be the heel fodder for Bayley. Right. So I would imagine she stays heel.
Is she heel on SmackDown and a face on Raw? Is that possible?
It is possible, and it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, talk about wild card. All right, so we'll see more, I'm sure, with Fire and Desire and Carmella and all of that as it goes. Anything that gets Carmella back in the... I can't believe I'm saying that. Anything that gets Carmella back in the ring, I'm for.
The only thing the only way I could see them having Alexa win is if they want the women's title to be on both brands, and they only have one women's title. Or I don't know. I know Becky has it on Raw, but something like that, where they have that title. I don't know, or they maybe unify the titles, and both women's titles can go back and forth. They're both wild card titles or something like that.
That's possible.
I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna get rid of all the belts. Not all the belts, but you know what I mean.
Right.
All the secondary belts that aren't needed.
That's a fair point. All right, Lars Sullivan comes out and finally does his promo, talks about a nightingale, talks about people talking about him and what he wants to do. This was an interesting promo. I liked it a lot, and I didn't want to like it a lot because I don't think he needs a promo, but I was wrong because I was watching this. Immediately, I was like, no, don't let him speak. He'll just be monosyllabic. But no, it came up with this like weird tangent that totally worked for him, and I think it won because fans were chanting. And to be fair, fans were chanting boring. Fans were doing the what chant to him,
but he just powered right through it.
Yes, he did.
Those what chants didn't put him off at all, and honestly, it didn't. They stopped. It didn't affect him at all.
It did. Super credit to him to just power right through it and not give it any kind of attention and do what he needed to do. I like that.
You know, it's funny. I saw a lot of people making fun of it on Twitter too, where they were like definitely making fun of it. And I also liked it.
Yeah.
I thought that, you know, it was a little silly.
Sure, but it's even scarier that a guy who can rip your arms off your body
It's a guy who wants to read poetry to you.
and does weird, silly promos. Like, it scares you even more.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I was thinking to myself, this makes him seem like a fucking psychopath.
Yes.
Like, I like this. This guy is weird.
Yeah.
It's different than what you hear. Yes, it's easy to make fun of. I saw a lot of people making like funny tweets about the promo, like, and similar to like, would a nightingale do this? You know, I forget some of the other ones, but there were a lot of good ones that were tweeted to me that I saw on Twitter last night. But see, people
are talking about you. That's a positive.
That's exactly how I feel about it. I was thinking to myself, people are talking about it, and also like you said, it's different than the typical monster that we see in WWE. Well, I guess we've seen people like that before that do weird promos like that too, but not currently. We don't have one like that. He's not just Braun Strowman. He's like this weird freak. Like,
when's the last time you remember any Strowman promo? Any?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit Lars with his first one.
Yeah, he's a real good one right off the bat.
Leaves you. It's a memorable one, and I want to see a shot of him in the back reading poetry to the Lucha House Party, all stacked on top of each other, knocked out by him, with a scarf on and glasses, and his bikini briefs.
Yeah,
perfect.
I really, I thought that it helped illustrate an interesting character for him. So I had no problem with it. I think that it might be hard to replicate those promos all the time, but it was interesting. I also, I don't want to talk bad about it because I did enjoy it. I thought that it was a nice out of the box kind of thing. Even if people online made fun of it, I liked it.
I hope it's a writer that he like works well with, understands him, because he's an introspective guy. So it's a good thing to bring out a little piece of his personality to counteract this vicious monster stuff. It works. It keeps you on your toes.
I also think that, because as we've heard from the Dean Ambrose promo, like, the wrestlers don't have a lot of input in their promos. Yeah. So clearly this was written for him. This was what was told of him. I feel like he, for such a weird promo on his first one on WWE TV, not NXT or whatever, but like on WWE TV on the main roster, I feel like he knocked it out of the park.
I do too.
Like, if those were just random words that were sent to him the day of, that were handed to him, he made them his own. Yeah. And he made them feel weird, and they made him feel true to his character, and that's all you can really ask with someone.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. Andrade took on Apollo Cruz. Remember him? Andrade gets the victory.
This was so disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
Because it didn't happen. You said it like it happened, but it didn't happen. Right. It was like, oh, cool. Andrade versus Apollo Cruz? Dope. That sounds like an awesome match. Oh, never mind. Here's Finn Balor to ruin it.
Like, of all people.
And there wasn't even that much wrestling on this show.
No, there really wasn't.
So I was like, oh, dope. Like, just like last week. Yeah. Just like Raw, where they end the last match of the night with Cesaro and Ricochet. I was like, great. They're going to give us another, like, competitive match to end SmackDown. Yeah. And that's not what happened.
It's not what happened at all. Finn comes in. And Finn, for his troubles, gets his butt kicked.
I know.
So I don't understand this at all logically. But I guess it just keeps this feud going. So this will keep going. But
did I miss something? Is there something that Andrade had done to make Finn that angry?
I just think it's from their feud. Their feud is happening right now. So this is the whole situation.
Wouldn't you just wait until he was tired from his match and then do it?
I guess there's a good point.
I was mad we didn't get like 4 minutes of these two wrestling. Like 4 minutes I would have been happy with.
Before Balor, or maybe like Andrade's doing some stuff with Zelina that's illegal to Apollo. That
Finn runs out, hits him.
Right. Then it becomes, and Finn could still get beat, but he came out to try to save Apollo. That worked.
Because have we even really seen Apollo on SmackDown since he got brought over in the shakeup?
Not really.
Yeah, not that I recall.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. He's like yoked, flips. He's got a great look. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, it's weird. Because Ahmed Johnson is kind of a comparable person to Apollo, and Ahmed was over. So
it's like if Ahmed could flip.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think Apollo Crews quite has the intensity of Ahmed Johnson. Right. And that's one of the reasons he was so popular as he was, or as used as much as he was. Because I mean, like, Ahmed Johnson was an intense dude.
Scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, so I mean that's the only difference. If he could add some intensity to him, he's someone I would like to see turn heel.
Oh, Apollo.
Yeah.
Apollo would be a great heel.
He smiles too much. That's the reason they don't use him. He smiles too much.
Yeah. Well, if they make him a crazy heel, that would work, right?
I'd be into it.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. All right, and we get to the big moment of the night, Goldberg. I am super shocked, super showdown shocked, at how much this guy is still over with the fans.
Me too.
Right?
I love Goldberg, like I said yesterday, but
yeah.
he is massively over with the fan base still.
Phenomenal how much people are over. And look, can we be done with the security detail thing? This is
My favorite thing was
so terrible.
Danny Limelight, that wrestler who I'm friendly with.
Was he in there too?
He was the guy getting coffee for Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And one of the security guards for Goldberg. I'm like, man, I hope they paid that guy 2 checks for working 2 jobs at the arena that night.
Swiss Army knife guy, man. You always need a guy like that. But then, I don't think we need it anymore.
Oh, I like this.
You do, really?
If we're not going to get the pyro, we got to have the security detail. I was more offended that we didn't have the pyro when he walked out.
No, true. The pyro is kind of part of
That's
this
like part of his whole entrance, you know? Like, it's so weak if you do the whole thing, the walkout, and the smoke's not going when he stands there, a little sucks it up, blows it out. Like, what?
Maybe he can't do it anymore.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah, true.
No, he can do it. They just don't want promo or pyro anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
They just don't have pyro on the main shows anymore. They only do it on paper, like big events and stuff like that.
All right,
he's going to have it on Friday.
Probably. Who do you think is going to walk him out to the ring in Saudi Arabia?
Who's what?
What's the security detail going to look like that walks him out to the ring in Saudi Arabia?
No.
Do you think it'll be those guys?
From what I read, and I'm not foreign affairs guy, it's more so people from Jerusalem they have problems with, as opposed to like Jewish people coming there.
Is it weird that Goldberg's on this thing though? But you talked about you can't say anything negative about Goldberg in the Jewish community.
I think so, but also at the same time, like for him, he might think that it's a big deal because of what you just said.
What if he comes out with a full Jewish detail?
He's not
Jewish security detail.
He's not going to come out.
That'd be badass, man. The yarmulkes or the scarves or that'd be badass, dude. I'm just saying, that's a statement.
No.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm down with that.
No, because the security detail's all in the back. They're just going to be
wearing the black stuff.
Yeah. But I'm more so wondering like how they can. I guess I know how they convince him with a lot of money. But this match, this segment was cool. I complained I complained on Raw, the Raw recap, because I said like, why didn't we have the face-to-face here? Didn't know it was going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got the face-to-face on SmackDown was cool.
Yeah.
I liked
the way
it.
It was done. It's quick
as quick as it was, I still liked it. I thought it was a bit silly that Goldberg said he was leaving the family-friendly Goldberg at home when he had just been high-fiving little children and stuff on his way to the ring. Thought that was a little
out of the ring.
And out of the ring. Thought that was a little silly. Goldberg's beard was interesting.
Yeah.
It was weird to see him not with the goatee, but to have a whole beard going.
He's older now, people.
Yeah.
The face is filled out a little bit. He's older. But I will say this. He is sneakily one of the best guys on the mic. He is fantastic on the mic.
He exudes the thing I was talking about with Ahmed Johnson, the intensity.
Yeah.
Goldberg always exudes intensity.
He's so good at it.
It's because he's actually an intense guy.
Yeah, and he rarely stumbles. And when he does, people make fun of it, and he catches himself when he does it and owns it. That's what I like about him overall on the mic. He's quite sneakily one of the best from that time, and still does it. Like, he did a great job.
I don't know if he's one of the best, but he's got good promos.
I would say that when he
was in a good promo back in the day.
When he was done with this one, I was like, all right, I want to watch the match now.
I'm not saying he's best, but back in the day, I don't think anyone ever like has lauded Goldberg for his promo
phenomenal.
skills. Yeah, but that's not a promo. That's a catchphrase.
Right, but he would come up with that at the end of his thing.
Yeah, but usually he would just say that.
You're next.
It usually wasn't a lot of promos back in the day, if I recall. It was more so like, hey, Kevin Nash, you're next, man. Like it was, he'd usually like beat someone and then take the mic and say something real intense and then put it down. If I recall correctly, I don't think he was ever like master the mic, but he did sell the match well. I thought the same thing.
The jockstrap thing was weird, but other than that,
made me laugh.
Taker does not have a jockstrap.
Who knows these? You never know.
The dead man with the jockstrap.
A lot of ball talk on WWE TV this week. Yeah. I actually, this sold the match better than anything else has done in the entire build-up, which is why I was saying I wanted it during Raw. So I'm glad we got it. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to the match, though. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm looking forward to it.
What time is this Pacific time?
It's during the day. That's all I remember. Yeah,
Are you going to be here? Or are you going to be at the house watching it?
I'll probably watch from home. It's on Friday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I'd do a watch along if we set it up here. I'm just letting you know now.
No, I've tried those watch along things. It's really hard to be entertaining for 3 hours straight while
Not with
also
John
watching,
Rocha, it isn't hard to be entertaining.
while also watching the show and trying to take mental notes and look for stories, write things. It's too hard to do watch alongs.
I've made Lawrence Arabia entertaining, for God's sake.
No, you
4
haven't.
hours. That was 4 hours.
Ugh.
Anyway, all right.
Wait, you did a watch along on Lawrence of Arabia?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you go do one on the Gandhi movie?
Gandhi's great. I love that. Don't bash Gandhi. Don't bash Gandhi.
Gandhi is one of the worst movies.
You're an insane person. Won an Oscar for Best Picture.
Ugh.
You're insane.
Gandhi. Yeah, so did Bohemian Rhapsody, John Rocha.
It didn't win Best Picture, Bohemian Rhapsody, did it?
I know, but
Green Book did, and that was terrible.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah. So, don't
It still won Oscars.
Yeah, don't come
No, Gandhi sucked. Also, so many comments yesterday in yesterday's video about how great Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
Yeah. Well, the wrestling fans.
Same people who probably said that you were cheating, but
Yeah, true,
I digress.
true.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a great show. Gandhi sucks.
They probably like the Shane McMahon storyline, too, the same people. So,
Yeah,
judgments are questionable here.
Gandhi is probably one of my least favorite films of all time.
Yeah, well, it's not probably for your generation. When I saw it, it's incredible. I still go back and watch it over and over again.
How many times have you watched Gandhi?
Oh, wow. Maybe in the 30 or 40 range? Yeah.
You have watched what's his name? Who's in it?
Ben Kingsley.
Ben
Sir
Kingston's
Ben Kingsley.
Sir Ben Kingsley's Gandhi 30 to 40 times.
Yeah. Because I'm a massive fan of biopics. People know this is The Outlaw. I'm a massive fan of biopics. Gandhi is one of my favorites. It holds up, too. And Matt Nost, my co-host on the Top 10 show, who I had to convince to watch it, watched it recently and loved it. So all I can tell you is this is a damn good biopic, won Best Picture.
They made me watch it in high school for like a week because it's like the longest movie ever. And I remember the whole time just wanting to, I don't want to say it because it's inappropriate. I hated it. I hated the movie so much. Gandhi sucks. We should probably get out of here.
I don't know why you don't like good things.
No, I like some
You and your
good things.
American bubble.
You and your American bubble. Yeah.
Gandhi runtime is 3 hours and 11 minutes.
That's a
Avengers
long movie.
Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes.
You're going to compare Endgame to Gandhi?
I'm just saying, don't tell me it's too long. It's only 9 minutes longer than Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame is like a visual orgasm for 3.5 hours.
Did it win Best Picture?
Gandhi, first of all, we don't know yet. We haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
And second of all, Gandhi is just literally it's like watching paint dry. I would literally, if I had to choose watching Gandhi or paint dry for an hour and a half, I would choose paint dry for an hour and a half because at least paint drying for an hour and a half is only an hour and a half.
That's some seriously wet paint if it takes an hour and a half to dry. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, so suck it! All right, there we go. That should be the good way to end. Thanks, everybody, for watching this SmackDown Live /movie review /TMZ NFL conversation here on the Pro Wrestling Sheet. Ryan, tell them where they can watch and read everything we do.
ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's the website where you can read all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. At Wrestling Sheet on at Wrestling Sheet on social media, youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find all these Raw and SmackDown recaps, as well as Wrestling Sheet Radio, where we discuss all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling that were on the website. And also it's on podcast. Check it out, Wrestling Sheet Radio on all the major podcast platforms.
There you go. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Follow him at Ryan Satin. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. I did not cheat. Let us know what you thought about everything we talked about here today. And in the meantime, enjoy Super Showdown on Friday. And
If you're watching it.
If you're watching it.
If you're not, it's okay. Everyone understands.
Yeah, respect you protesting it. And if you and then join us next week for another episode of the Raw Recap and the SmackDown Live Recap on the Pro Wrestling Sheet. Until then, take care.
Get that water from your computer.
Oh my God.
ProWrestlingSheet.com